Welcome back, guys. It's time for more plot when it comes to Fire Emblem Three Houses. So you guys are able to hear that ambient music in the background, right? Just want to get a
just a bit.
Okay, audio check. All right, so let's get started. I muted my TV, and now we have the full audio from the game. So you should be able to hear all the static models talking to each other about plot things. So let's get going. So what are we doing this time?
They sway like little trees in the wind.
Departs from the Great Bridge of Murden and marches south toward Enbar, the imperial capital. Meanwhile, the Alliance army follows from behind to invade imperial territory, and the Empire has dispatched forces from Fort Mercius to intercept them.
Oh, is this the battle?
Oh, yeah, seems like it.
Yeah, okay.
Between the three armies, which will come to be known as the Battle at Gronder.
The non-fog of war map.
Yeah. I just like how Dimitri has no reason to be here.
I am grateful.
He just wants to be what Edelgard's doing. Except last year.
Yeah, because you could completely ignore him at any point in time. And,
you mean Claude?
Yeah, Claude. Sorry, Claude. I'm thinking about Claude. Yeah,
you're right. Dimitri does have no reason to be there.
I don't know why I said Dimitri. Yeah, Claude had no reason to be here. He's like, oh, he's following from behind. Okay, and I've tried doing this before. You can completely ignore him and go after Edelgard, but the game still requires you to defeat all his soldiers, or kill in this case.
Of course, because Dimitri is a fucking idiot.
But Gyleth isn't. He should at least know. Hey, these aren't Edelgard soldiers. Why are we killing them? They didn't even start smack with us.
Because he's an enabler.
The Lord said kill everybody.
Oh.
The route man.
Gyleth is just an enabler.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
He's a dumbass.
Well, when you put it that way. Let's see, who do we have to deal with here? Okay, so Edelgard has the main point here. And then we got Claude's people here. Yeah, if you want to make the game harder for yourself, you fight Claude first, because Edelgard's people are actively attacking you, and Claude's just chilling back over there. So my main thing of action is just to go from the left, go down here.
Yeah, Claude just waits for you to weaken yourself.
Yeah. And, yeah. What is this trash Ferdinand doing on the map? Get him out of here. Get rid of Ferdinand. Booyah. Okay. Let's get Anna. Let's get Anna to help out. And
The one who is friends with nobody.
yeah. No, she's friends with somebody. It's called money.
Perfect soldier. There's no one if there's no one else on the battlefield to care about, then it doesn't need to worry about attacking any of them. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay, let's see. Where is she at? There it is. Get flamed. Yeah, the auto heal. Okay, and I do believe, guys, let's not fight yet. I need to buy something first. Armory. Okay, everything looks good there.
I'm from Anna.
Yeah. Okay, gotta sell stuff.
It's
Dimitri.
first.
It's like it's the fate of the world is upon us. Why are you trying to sell me stuff?
Because money.
Because I know we're gonna win, so therefore I need to be profitable after the war is over.
I got a question. What's that swirling purple thing on the map?
Swirling purple thing on the map. Let me go take.
Currently behind one of the windows there, but
Where? Oh, this right here, the purple square.
yeah, the swirling purple thing there.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, those are these are only here when you have this connected to online. If it's purple, that means another player died there, and if you land on there, you pick up the item that they currently had with them. If it's, if it's yellow, that means another person died there, and you could scoop up free XP.
Okay. So I'm looking at it, I'm like, why does that look so much like a draw point from Final Fantasy VIII?
If the worst version of those yellow sparkly things in Fire Emblem Awakening.
It's just the bloodstains from Dark Souls, that's all.
Alright, where's Javelin at? There we go. Okay, that's everything we need for him.
Thanks a bunch.
Okay,
Love
brother.
seeing the show how other players died.
Yeah, every time you
Oh,
land the
boy, I want to
nails.
see them roll around a lot, which doesn't tell me anything.
I think they do that in Elden Rings too now.
Maybe. I wouldn't know. I don't have PlayStation Plus, so I'm offline on everything I'm playing.
Yeah, I've just been watching other people play for the funnies.
I have
That's
not,
really-
because I've only explored mostly the first area. I did beat the first main boss though, so there's that.
Is the game good? Like everyone's saying it is?
It's fine.
Thanks
Okay.
a bunch.
So
I'm
it
Do
is.
you like Dark Souls?
No.
Do you like Bloodborne?
No.
Then you probably won't like Elden Ring.
Okay. The same.
It's just those games, but with a bit more.
Is it made by the same people who made Dark Souls?
Yes, it's same company, same team.
Okay.
And I believe, if I remember the marketing correctly, it's also part of like the scenario or the story was written by the Game of Thrones guy.
Cool.
Is that the one? Thanks a bunch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, to do this silver axe is gonna go out. Might as well just sell that.
Is that the one?
Ooh, buying stuff. Silver axe. Booyah
Is that the one?
Alright.
Thanks a bunch.
And then it's like, okay guys, buy my stuff, please. I think they even joked about that in Conquest.
Buy my stuff so my sister doesn't die.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I'll charge you a fortune.
yeah. You right. Alright, let's see. Is that everybody? Okay, that's everybody's accounted for. Alright, let's go save, just in case. And we'll go begin the battle. Sweet. Okay. Let's go. Root the enemy, of course. Oh yeah, we got this nice, awesome cutscene here. With
Yes, I can barely see anything. All because of this fog. How will we know who the enemy is? It doesn't matter, just kill everybody. Okay, load the map. I can see everything. Oh no, it's raining fire.
It was Claude.
That I will tear your heads from your shoulders. The dead must have their tribute.
What?
Tribute?
People are dying everywhere.
This reunion's go.
Nail God is out of control.
The worst
Better kill Claude.
Yeah. Hey Dimitri, I'm on your side. Guys, it's Claude. He's responsible for this.
I'll be like, it's probably Nail God, but we should kill him anyways.
Yeah. And I'm just here.
Posey.
Kill every last one of them.
You mean Claude too? I said every last one of them.
Hey, everyone. What do you mean, everyone?
If they're not blue, they're the enemy.
But, sir, how of us aren't wearing blue?
Kill him!
Now, you are mine. The Kingdom Army doesn't look too interested in joining forces with us. Let's take a moment to see how this all unfolds.
Oh, really?
It would not be advantageous.
Yes, him and his non-existent army of faceless characters.
Yep.
I will create such chaotic warfare.
Probably because we recruited half of them and the other half have already died.
They're like, Claude, we joined with the psychopath because, you know, we know he's gonna be a good guy later. Okay,
What's my
No,
That's what
they
did
just
to
joined
Claude.
so they could get extra credit.
yeah.
Well, they did it so because the teacher and the Lord are hot.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, they wanted to get extra credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some extra credit right there.
Yeah.
For Alex!
Oh, whoa, wait. That's just creepy. Oh, wait, I was gonna say, explodes sounded so much like Jose, and I went to go straight to Discord, and here I see Jose. I was gonna say, man, that's a good Jose impression, bro.
I can't do an Jose impression.
Well, that's why I was curious. I was like, wait a minute.
I will.
That ain't right.
I can do a Mario impression.
By the way, Jose, you're actually joining us on one of the best maps. It's us versus 2 other people. So yeah.
All right, no, I just had I had to be on the phone for almost this entire time. It was annoying.
Yeah, that's okay. So we're doing the games now.
Basically, we're helping a psychopath kill
Another victory.
a sociopath and a
Ooh, Pavise.
sneak.
So what you're telling me is we're planning around a plan of somebody's plan to plan around that person's plan
Yeah,
to kill that person.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Sounds legit.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do? See these guys right here, the Claude side. This is Claude's army right here. It's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 units compared to Edelgard's entire group here.
So what I'm hearing
She
is
doesn't have that many either, but 2 of them are dragons.
what you're telling me is that she has a big penis.
She has a big E penis. How about that?
She probably wished she had one.
Hers are bigger than yours. That's all it is.
I mean,
You don't
Bridget
need to
was
say
doing
anything else.
Gay options in the
Smoke has a
game,
bigger
so
penis than I
probably
do.
does wish she had one.
Oh man, dude.
Wow.
That's why you love.
I
That's why you
counted,
love the
counted.
traps.
She has the most options.
Yeah. She is the one that will step on you and be okay with it.
Least I could do.
Oh, and I'll be okay with it too. I'll be like, yes, mommy, crush me.
I'm like, she'll care for you, but like, in like 2 out of the 3 timelines, but like, in this one specifically, she's not going to care about you.
Yeah.
That's the
I mean,
point.
she still does.
A close one.
You see, that's the point. The less affectionate they are, the better.
The hotter it is. Oh my goodness, man. You have mommy issues.
Bro, I don't have mommy. I have abandonment. There's a difference.
Take me. Take me.
The only one she actually cares about is Claude.
Well,
'Cause,
let me
like,
put it this way.
when she knows she's lost, she's like, spoilers alert for people who are dumb. When she's defeated in the end of the game, I'm pretty sure she just tries to kill Claude, knowing that she'll lose because she thinks there can only be one. So,
I mean, as long
she
as
doesn't allow him to spare him. I mean, doesn't allow him to spare her.
well, as long as she doesn't have a nephew named Peter, we're good.
Peter B. Parker.
Well, I don't want to be the next Uncle Ben. Just saying.
hey! But you don't need to be Uncle Ben nowadays in order to be a part of Spider-Man's tragic backstory. Okay.
Look, my name is not May, so I'm safe. All right. As long as I'm not Uncle Ben either, or somebody named Tony Stark, I'm good.
Allow me to explain the new Spider-Man timeline where Peter Parker's aunt's boyfriend in the place of Uncle Ben dies and therefore creates Spider-Man.
I'm not gonna lie. That I got done watching No Way Home, and I was just like, bro.
Talk about it. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. I haven't
No,
seen
I'm
it
not-
myself really yet, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm not spoiling it. I'm just saying after watching, like I said, after watching fucking
Look good.
No Way Home, I was just like, bruh, I ain't no Aunt May.
But anyway.
Oh yeah, she's
There's
still
one
hot for
more
that.
that you should not have the name of. What's her name? It's his other girlfriend besides Mary Jane.
Gwen Stacy.
Yeah.
Alicia
Bro.
Hardy.
Let me put it this way: Peter Parker is a fucking pimp. I don't know why they try to make him as dorky as possible. Like niggas, that boy's a pimp.
Because that's the part that people recognize and identify with.
He has
Exactly.
brains and brawn.
Yeah. I mean, originally, Peter Parker's kind of a dick to everybody. Part of the reason why he's bullied.
Exactly. He's that one smart-ass kid that you just can't help beat the shit out of.
Yeah.
Even when he isn't a dick, he's just kind of
I am only
Smartass.
just beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you really look back into the comics, you know, Peter
Yeah.
Parker actually made his own villains.
Yeah, he's the reason for all the problems that he deals with. And then at the end of the day, oh, I'm so sad I lost so and so.
Yeah, but that's why they're so good, is because they're
How is he
intrinsically
supposed to know that he
linked
gives someone
with
cancer by helping
both of his
sex with them?
lives.
How
Like,
is he
that's
supposed
what
to know
makes-
that he gives someone cancer by having sex with them?
Well, you kind of okay.
No,
I don't.
let's-
Radioactive
let's
spider
not.
bite.
that.
Radioactive spider bite. Come on, man.
I mean, like, Peter should know that he's cancer himself. So, that was pretty obvious.
Sure.
I don't know. If
They
if
literally only did that so that they could have a plot where Mary Jane died again.
It's like Mary Jane goes through the fucking what do you call what's that syndrome we call it
the ringer.
the Jean Grey syndrome.
Oh,
They have
Yeah.
they have to end up getting fucking killed.
To be fair, she barely has a reason to exist anymore.
yeah. It would have been cool if Mary Jane
I mean,
had
they-
the hydro powers and she was Spider-Man's sidekick. That would have been cool.
Or if they just, let Spider-Man actually have a healthy relationship that actually, survives more than one issue.
Isn't that what they tried doing with Spider-Man Unlimited?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
Well, he was on good standing with MJ, as far as I was
but she
aware.
died.
In Spider-Man Unlimited,
Isn't that one? Is that one from the Ultimate Universe?
Spider-Man Unlimited takes place, doesn't matter what he had with Mary Jane because he goes to another world in Unlimited.
well, still,
And that
he was
didn't
on
even
good terms with
freaking
her.
end.
She was the one that motivated him to go.
You know what I mean when I say that.
Well, I'm not even being facetious. I honestly feel like, yeah, if you're asking for on good terms and having a good relationship,
I mean, so Spider-Man is hooked up with Mary Jane on at least 5 different occasions and gotten married, right?
yeah.
And most of the time, she's
comic
just there
writers
to look.
don't want to do that because, that like a character like this and a parent like that just makes it boring. We can't have that. That's not what's
So they try to
interesting.
spice things
So
up
we
by putting
let's
her in her
reboot that.
underwear.
Let's just reset it. How are we going to do that? Let's kill Mary Jane by sex. Okay. They got back together again. What can we do to stop that? Let's have Mephisto say that he wants their marriage as payment for bringing back Aunt May or some that happened. I don't remember what the fuck it was, but literally
And when they do
Peter
have
has to
them
give up
married,
his marriage to revive his aunt or something. And it's just like, that is one of the
even after
dumbest
she
things that
asked
could have happened.
not to try and find a way to. She wanted to just die, because she wanted Peter to move on, have a happy life.
Well, that's the
point
same
being-
thing with WandaVision, like with Wanda and Vision. And this is not from the WandaVision show. This is from the actual comics. You remember that storyline, Afro, the one with what's it called? I actually have it. Give me 1 second, because
Most likely I don't know because Wanda and Vision, I didn't even know were a couple until I played Ultimate Alliance.
oh no, but this is not from the. This is actually from one of the comics that was really good.
Exactly, I'm not gonna know about it.
All right,
Because
give me 1 second. I'll be able to.
I only knew they were even a thing because of one of the video games that I played.
Anyways, even when
Anyway,
Mary
but,
Jane is
but, like-
allowed to be married to Peter Parker, she's usually just standing around in her underwear.
My point being is that writers don't want to try and make that relationship engaging in any way, so they keep resetting it. That's
They either reset it or just use her for eye candy.
or both, which is frankly criminal. Like what Reed Richards and Susan Storm are a married couple. She is Susan Richards in most continuities. granted, they're a superhero team, but they were a couple before they were superheroes. And then,
Yeah, and then it usually turned out bad because Mr. Fantastic is not a fantastic person.
Yeah, he's a jerk. He's a jerk. He's more
Whatever.
he's more in love with his science than anything.
That example, I guess, because I'm not too familiar with their comic book sales. You get what I'm trying to get at, though.
Well, when one plot line,
House of M. There we go.
the
That's
woman was turned evil.
Oh, that one, House of M, yeah, where like the entire mutant
population disappears.
situation got like erased or some shit.
Because of Scarlet Witch's the entire fact that Scarlet Witch lost Vision and killed the Hawkeye in the Avengers.
Oh, that was the catalyst. Okay.
Yeah, that was the whole reason, because then Pietro told
Anyway.
convinced her to quote unquote, make a future, where none of them existed, and I was just like, bruh. But that comes out to the point that we were talking about right now. It's like they do these, let's fix the timeline by making this, convoluted bullshit.
Yeah, and it baffles me. Like, why do they think they can't do anything compelling with what they have and actually just evolve? Like, there's a comic continuity with a time skip where Peter and Mary Jane are a married couple with I think a daughter.
Yeah.
And the daughter has superpowers, and they basically go on hijinks together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why can't they just evolve it to that kind of point naturally, instead of just like, people don't like seeing Spider-Man with. Let's not do that.
Spider-Man's
getting too happy. Let's reset everything.
Meanwhile, everyone's just watching the comics before they make the changes, and they're like, "Oh wow, I sure love this. I hope it never changes."
Mm-hmm.
Or like, there, and like also like there's like Superman and Lois Lane are usually a happy couple, with one that can't do anything other than, stupid human shit, right? And then one's the superhero, right? Like, that works just fine. How come they can't do anything like that?
It might just be problems from
underwear.
the higher ups where they're forced to be under those specific guidelines. Who knows?
Yes and no. It's a bit of both.
It's mostly up to whoever writes the comic afterwards. Because let's say you have like somebody like Jack Kirby, and he does this wonderful Spider-Man story, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Perfect ending, all nice, nice and tied up. Then you have then you have Stan Lee come in and go, well, he kind of left it too happy. Now I can't really give Spider-Man this villain, so let's just say that after Reggie was saying, let's say Mephisto doesn't is willing to bring back Uncle Ben, but the only way he does that is if Peter Parker gives up his happiness. But why would he give up his happiness? Because his Aunt May's been depressed this entire time that Uncle Ben's been gone, and so now Peter chooses to give up his happiness for his Aunt May.
Even though she could literally croak at like any moment.
Mm-hmm. So
not even getting to the fact that she hooks up with Doc Ock at some point.
Exactly. So I mean, what's
She's not depressed. I mean, like, she's sad about it, but she moves on fine. Where's this depression coming from?
Well, that's the point. It's like whoever takes over after a comic run usually find some random ass bullshit to give the people back, give people what they want.
Can you just have someone try and kill Mary Jane like a normal person?
That's the thing. It's either they kill them or they come up with some convoluted bullshit to restart the thing.
I know, but they don't even need to do the killing is from, like, because Spider-Man killed them, but then why? You could have just had Green Goblin kill her and it would just be more effective.
Then it'd just be repeating what happened with Gwen Stacy.
And then
yes, but that would make it interesting because now this time I don't think this time he might not come back from his rage. He might actually go too far.
But that's
In
the
which
problem.
case, that would just be another like separate
Alternative
continuity.
universe.
Yeah.
Because remember, your superhero is never allowed to go too far.
Unless it's one of those like dark endings.
Hmm.
This is no time.
Well, that's one of the reasons people didn't really like Injustice, because Superman kills. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it's believable that, eventually, sooner or later, Superman will snap. Especially after a traumatic event. I can believe that.
Like specifically the events that happened in Injustice to lead to that. The premise of it is fine. What people didn't like is how Superman acted afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Hence, for the reason why, the point explodes is that you can have the villain kill the love interest. They've done it many times. It's just that when your superhero goes a little too far, they just make it as part of an Elseworld story. It wasn't.
Mhm.
It's not part of the main continuity. The only people who have actually stayed dead for a long, long time has been Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben, yeah.
Yep.
Has been one of those characters that always stayed dead. And back then, before they brought him back in 2005, was the second Robin, Jason Todd.
Yep.
Before he,
Empire and Kingdom are mixed up in this battle.
Hmm.
It's a struggle to target.
those have been supposedly the characters that never come back, but everybody else has come back from the dead.
Isn't an ally.
Yep.
And
Oh, great.
mhm. And it kills the fun out of it, because you go, okay, so why am I invested in a story where I know how it's going to end? It's like,
So at that point, it's not about how it ends. It's about the character drama and motivations and like all of that stuff being put through the ringer. Not specifically that, oh no, this person might die this time. Like, no, it's more about it's about the drama itself rather than the danger.
like for me, one of my favorite, stories that was part of the main continuity was Flashpoint.
Now, Flashpoint is amazing.
Yeah, the entire point of instead of was it Bruce's Wayne dad Thomas and Martha being killed, there was Bruce that was killed, drove his mom to become the Joker, and basically his dad became Batman. But
With guns.
exactly, which made it for me like really fun. Then you have the the Shazam kids.
Yeah. Where they all become the one being,
Yeah.
and then
Captain Gronder.
again talked about Shazam, aka Captain Marvel, aka whatever the fuck you want to call him.
No, he was called Captain Dunder in fucking Flashpoint. That's what made it
Okay,
hilarious.
well, whatever. I'm saying in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in a lot of the darker continuities, they always kill him off for shock factor because it's just a child.
Yep.
Superman freaking heat visions his face.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Yeah.
Like,
Like
this child spoke out against my totalitarian rule. Well, better melt his face until his brain turns into mush.
Yep. That was one of those moments I went, yeah, you guys could have done a better job in that.
Yeah. And also, Wonder Woman is just the trash character in that continuity as well.
Oh yeah, she was after that Spider-Man penis big time, dude. I mean, not Spider-Man, that Superman's penis big time.
Yeah, she wanted the Kryptonian D. Yeah.
Yeah.
And boy,
No,
did she
I mean,
dress like it. Did she dress like it, man?
That's the point. I mean, like when you do dark timelines, you either fuck up a lot of characters,
Yep.
or you pretty much do a really good job. People wanted part of the main continuity. Like for me, one of my favorite comic book series run was Ultimate Spider-Man, because the entire fact that Peter Parker dies at the end was amazing.
And that's when Miles Morales was created, right?
Yep, and that was what made Miles Morales more special.
Then they
because
erased
Parker
that
was
universe
gone.
because everyone else sucked, so they brought Miles back to the main universe.
Yeah.
But that
Happy
was the
ending.
thing. No, I mean that was the main reason why I loved Ultimate Spider-Man was the fact that Peter Parker gets killed by the Sinister Six, and even other heroes that try to help him couldn't save him.
You still got the day saved, but at what cost?
Mm-hmm. But then you have, with Miles Morales, him taking over was amazing. But then they had a backpedal saying, "Oh no, Peter never died. He was just in a coma. He just seemed dead."
And then you got other storylines where they decide to change up the formula even more by keeping Peter Parker around, but it's not actually Peter Parker. Doc Ock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that one was the Superior Spider-Man was actually pretty decent. I had a
I've been hearing, but when I hear about it, it's just weird. Like Doc Ock had a love interest while in Peter's body.
That is kind of weird.
This is also after the fact that I heard that Doc Ock banged Aunt May, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
The ending paid off.
Getting all of that information back to back was like, I'm sorry, what happened in one of the comics? What? Like, I do find it hilarious though that Doc Ock found out how strong Peter is the first time he tried to use any of his powers.
Yeah, because he's always holding back.
Yeah, I was like, Scorpion is causing problems. Better suit up as my nemesis Spider-Man so that I can be a better hero than he was. Now that I have this opportunity to prove myself as the superior individual. And then the face completely tears his jaw off.
Well, like, believe it or not, one of my favorite comic book runs has been the ones where Peter either dies or just loses control, because people get to finally meet that Peter Parker holds back a lot more than people expect. Because I remember that there was one comic book run I was reading where Kingpin killed Aunt May by complete accident.
And then Spider-Man goes ape shit on him.
Uh-huh.
With the black suit, I believe.
Yep. And that was the whole point. And then at that point, Kingpin learned that, Peter Parker was holding back. And he even told him, I've been holding back, but not no more. And he beats Kingpin into a bench of life and says, "I'm not gonna kill you. I just want to remind you, who beat the shit out of you. And if you want to try me again, bitch."
Yeah, Spider-Man.
That's legit. That was one of my favorite comics, because I was just like, dude, I can picture Peter doing that if he loses control. Because boy, did he fucked up Kingpin
When at some point, I think Kingpin just avoided direct confrontation altogether.
After that, he avoided Peter Parker. And there's been moments that James Jonah Jameson actually loves Peter, but hates Spider-Man. And when he finds out Peter's Spider-Man, he has this conflict, because he's he wants to turn in Peter, but at the same time, he loves Peter as a son.
Yeah.
Even though in the fucking comics, he treats him like garbage. But it's this weird, like I said, it's these weird comics that we enjoy.
Jameson treats everybody like garbage, though. That's kind of the point.
Yeah, no, I fucking love I love how the comparison of I've seen this meme that basically it's like the Joker's talking to Batman. It's like, oh, when people are in their in their very last moments, they show you who they really are, and it shows.
Yeah, and Jameson's always actually a good person in those moments.
Exactly, and that's when you go, yeah, no, Jameson has
the main universe when he saw Peter was Spider-Man, wasn't treating him like a son, but then saw that he trusted him with this. He was willing to trust him.
Mm-hmm.
How was he supposed to react to that?
You see, and that's been the beauty about a lot of these runs from other writers, is that you see this. It's one of the reasons storytelling is very important. That for Fire Emblem needs to have a good story. If it doesn't have a good story, it's just basically a waifu simulator. It's like Final Fantasy. it's like Final Fantasy. You can have great character designs and all that shit, but like if the story's garbage, nobody's really gonna care. Fucking Final Fantasy was it 13?
13.
No,
Yeah,
13 and 15. And 15, they
Yeah.
They didn't have
Hey
really-
guys, I'm just gonna let you guys know this. She struck me first. All right. I'm just
No
defending
one cares.
Your journey ends
No one cares. Feminists won't believe you.
look. We all know, Mark, that you don't tip, so you have to give her your tip. So
She's gonna take that tip.
there's a
Take the
reason why.
whole thing.
That's why she's beating you, Mark.
Oh my goodness! It's time to get my money back.
All she wanted to do was be nice to you, Mark. What the fuck?
How do you just go inside with a psychopath and just spit on her shoes?
It's good to see that Edelgard and Claude's people are fighting each other. That's one less thing I have to worry about.
Yeah, nobody really trusts Claude.
Claude's just as bad as Goku in some regards. Loves to abandon people.
Yeah, the shit about Spider-Man though is another funny tidbit is that apparently Spider-Man has to act like he's getting hurt when people attack him.
Yeah.
Like he always has to when a normal person tries punching him, he has to make sure he moves so that they don't break their own hand on him.
Oh man, dude. So how do you? I was gonna say. So how do you guys feel about Harry Osborn being Hobgoblin or
in-
being or staying his best friend?
In what?
In almost in any universe, it's always been the situation.
Oh yeah, where Harry's his best friend and then ends up turning evil for some reason or another.
Yeah.
Except when it's actually revealed to be Norman Osborn because
It's the real continuity is that it's always Norman, and then Harry takes up the reins later, after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was always supposed to be Harry was always a red herring at first in most of those stories because it all looks like it's Harry from all his weird behavior and shit. But you find out, oh, it's just because he has a drug problem.
Mm-hmm.
I will say possibly the weakest origin story to Harry, and this might be controversial, might not, because it's my own opinion here, and I don't know too much about the Spider-Man, community. But I think the worst origin story for Harry becoming Green Goblin was from the animated series, the
Which one?
the '90s cartoon.
Fair? Okay.
Yeah, because
Fair enough.
I remember seeing that one, and then it just felt like, wow, they really just had to do it. It didn't feel natural that he slowly progressed into the Goblin's successor.
I mean, they did showcase that he was having hallucinations all the way up to that point. But yeah,
they didn't even have him be Hobgoblin. That was Norman.
the Hobgoblin was somebody else entirely.
Yeah, it was. Hobgoblin was the Joker.
Yeah. They had
Well, I
Mark
remember an
Hamill
episode
voicing
where
somebody
Norman
who
Osborn
became
ended up
Hobgoblin.
being the Hobgoblin
No, he's
right after
Norman
he
is the
switched back to
Green
being
Goblin.
Green Goblin. No,
He's
I mean
the
there was an
Green
episode
Goblin.
where. Would you let me finish? I forgot what I was going to say.
about Norman being Hobgoblin.
Yeah, they had revealed after. They revealed that Norman Osborn in one episode was Hobgoblin, but also in that same episode he had started switching back to Green Goblin. I think he was holding everyone hostage, including the Kingpin.
I don't remember that. Are you sure it wasn't just the Hobgoblin himself? Because the Hobgoblin, Green
Yeah, I'm
Goblin
sure.
stuff.
This is the cartoon, not the comic.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I don't remember
we
that.
just have-
I remember Hobgoblin holding them hostage. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember him being like, "Surprise, it's me, Norman." Like, no, it was just Hobgoblin looking to take over as a kingpin.
Can I just say this? I love how even in the cartoon, there's no continuity where the Kingpin is the good guy.
Nah.
He does love his daughter, at least.
That doesn't mean anything. You can
Or
still
with
be
his
you can still be
niece.
evil but love somebody.
Wait. Yeah, he had relatives in that.
Yeah, I think it was that. He helped Spider-Man in one episode because of it. Because someone was crashing her wedding.
Fuck.
Still,
Yeah.
There's a lot of
I
episodes.
think
I
that
don't remember that either.
I think the coolest thing about Kingpin is that the voice actor. He sold it so well, portraying the Kingpin.
Yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
that's the good thing about the 90s cartoon version is that you get these great voice actors with really, that you feel the character.
Especially Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. Like for me, my favorite character from the animated series was Venom.
Oh yeah, Venom was great. Yeah.
Venom. They gave Venom a great fucking voice actor.
Yeah.
Fucking loved it.
A lot of them were really good. And the thing I like the most about that show is that they managed to keep the spirit of like Spider-Man's narrations intact by actually having him narrate and just talk over everything as the show goes on.
And sometimes, what's his name? Stan Lee would also get to narrate.
Yeah. And Lee actually appeared in an episode.
The last one, right?
Yeah, the very last episode. He got to go on a web-slinging adventure with Spider-Man right before the biggest cliffhanger ever.
Oh, dude, yeah. You know, at this point, just make the one episode. But I said this briefly with you guys. I wouldn't have minded it if Mary Jane had the water powers. That would have made.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either. That was actually pretty cool.
But instead, they had to make her a clone.
Which was fine. I didn't mind that either. It's like, oh, wait a minute, because she just appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I was like, we need to like you need to answer for this. Where's Mary Jane? So like, I don't know. She just appears out of nowhere, like, oh, she's alive. What the heck? Well, I guess my job's done then. Bye. And it's like, okay.
Mary Jane was possibly done with that. They could have just kept the clone and.
Yeah, that would have been fine too.
Because like she disappeared like the whole 2 seasons before that through the portal. So like, yeah, she was always out there, but it's just like we never get to see where because freaking interdimensional portals.
Also, it made things really stupid when Parker. It's not. I wouldn't say. I know Parker's an idiot sometimes, but like the whole deal with him and Felicia, it's not really in context to what they're. And unless you guys correct me, I don't really think it was really his fault for a lot of things with relationship wise. He lost his girlfriend. He had time to grieve, and then he wanted time to move on. There's nothing wrong with that. So when he's kind of being portrayed as kind of like a bad guy for, I don't know, moving on to Cat, what was it? Not Cat.
Black Cat.
Black Cat. And
honestly, that was one of my favorite versions of Black Cat ever.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wish that they actually hooked up, but then they decided to have her go with Morbius instead. I was like, plasma. Morbius had a great voice too. It's so like it was just on the cusp of being really bad, also actually good, right?
Yeah.
And then the whole censorship thing. So like he's a vampire, but they can't have him take blood. Can't have that. So what do? Well, let's give him these weird octopus suction cups on his hands.
Yeah. So now everyone has hickeys. Now everyone has hickeys because of that.
I mean, low key, like I've seen like out of all of Spider-Man's rogue gallery, I will admit, Green Goblin to me will always be number one, like everybody would say.
Yeah, and Doc Ock.
Yep, and then in second place for sure, and we all know Carnage.
Carnage Asada. Good choice.
Carnage.
Venom.
No, Carnage.
Carnage and Venom. That's why I'm going to consider Carnage and Venom on the same table.
I mean,
Okay,
Venom
I found
has
a moment
more
where-
redeemable qualities, though. And
Yeah,
he's
no,
more of an actual personal vendetta with Spider-Man, unlike Carnage, who was just a serial killer given Venom.
That's the joke,
okay, I
though.
found the moment I'm was talking about earlier. I'll be right back so we can listen to it better.
All right.
It's a shame you aren't on our side.
Well, I will admit though, like, I don't know.
Less fighting seems like
To,
a waste.
like, I know Explodes likes the new version of Spider-Man, like the one that was in XD. But
In what?
Superior Spider-Man. I think that's the one that ran for a while.
There was no
Right.
Yeah, Superior Spider-Man is the Doc Ock controlling
No,
Peter
it was
Parker's body.
No, but it was a new TV series.
Can't afford to die.
Hang on, let me look
Wait,
it up.
what?
Have to retreat.
For when Marvel took over.
It's definitely not called Superior Spider-Man because that's specifically tied to Doc Ock's version of Peter Parker.
Oh, there we go. It's called Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's Disney newest
Yeah.
show, and it's I don't know much about it other than it the art style is really crappy.
That's the one I don't like.
The one I like the most is actually Spectacular Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
That one is great. It was helmed by somebody who knows how to do good storytelling and just keep the pace going. Unfortunately, it didn't get to finish.
Well, like for me, my favorite one, like the one that I really liked, before, after I saw all the new ones, it has to be the Ultimate Spider-Man, right after the Spectacular Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, just because he gave Peter Parker or Spider-Man like multiple, friends to bounce off of.
Oh, hey, we're getting that moment in the story now.
Oh yeah, so shut up, guys. No, I'm joking. But we're gonna get to this part where the
We
story
can keep
changes,
talking.
and then
We've memed on it this whole time.
yeah. So let's actually see this happen.
We can keep talking about Spider-Man.
Have I caught you off guard?
That picture looks like Dimitri is like, yeah, you won't do it.
Hurts real bad.
No, it's like I was like, I accept this.
Brother felt. You will never be forgiven, you know. I will.
So in
never
context, Jose,
Explodes. We're at the meme now.
yeah.
You must be.
You filthy monster. It's time to die.
I'm just gonna run right in front of you guys and take the blow for no
Of
reason.
actually stopping or doing anything else now. Must shield.
Yeah, must body block because apparently,
He protect.
yeah, he must protect.
He protect, but he don't attack.
Yeah. Honestly, any one of us could have just had like you threw an arrow at her, and that would have been done with.
Your Highness,
Right, yeah, right to the knee.
Yeah.
please tell me.
Even though she was completely justified in
She
doing
had all
that.
she had all that time to talk and say that smack to Dimitri.
Are no
And Demetrius just like, oh, you want vengeance? Very well, that is just.
No,
He basically turned into Scar, except he's like, oh,
don't die.
finally, I can be at peace, I can be at rest. And then Reed takes that away from him and tells him, no, you gotta live and fix all this.
Yeah. You can't run away from your problems, boy.
Yeah, it's like, no, not another one. Why?
So I was wrong about that relative scene, but it was apparently him funding the wedding for
Your Highness,
Mary Jane and Peter Parker.
one thing.
Oh, yeah, now that I remember, yeah. Because it's good publicity.
None of us.
And then, when shit goes wrong, well,
I'm done.
he needs to help because
Just
publicity.
your
The
life.
public doesn't know he's controlling all of crime. He's a philanthropist and an entrepreneur, and one of the most wealthiest people on the planet.
My boy.
So of course, he's gonna do something good.
Wait, I wanna point out something that he said there. That what's his name said to Dimitri, Rodrigue. He says, "Live for what you believe in." Hasn't Dimitri been doing that this entire time?
No, he has not.
What has he been?
Dimitri's just been an animal.
Dimitri's been living with nothing but survivor's guilt. he wants to die because he feels like he shouldn't have been the one to survive the tragedy that happened that, has kept him traumatized. Hence why he keeps on seeing ghosts and hearing voices.
Oh, okay.
But he also thinks that the fact that he is alive means the only thing he can do to, make amends for being the one that lived is to, kill the ones responsible.
Even though he's not killing anyone responsible.
Yeah, and then also the fact that if you remember, if you went through his supports at all before, during the earlier bits, when he was still a relatively normal individual, yeah, there were hints of his trauma there, but he was overall a pretty mellow person who mostly just wanted the best for everybody around.
Actually, that wasn't according to Felix.
Yeah, it was more of a
yeah,
front.
well,
It was more of a
except for according to Felix, because Felix has seen the darker side of him, and he's kind of putting up a mask, but also that gentler part of him is Dimitri's true self, which is where he goes back to after this moment in the story. Once Rodrigue dies, he's like, no, Rodrigue is right. I need to live on and move past all of that. Which is why he's even able to try and broker peace with Edelgard later. And then Edelgard keeps pushing the conflict, so he kills her right then and there. It's like, I guess this was just how it was going to be.
I swear that's just her trying to make it so only one of them live. I don't think she cared which one of them was.
We can get to that part when we get to
that. But again, we're talking about just Dimitri here, so he did try and reach out and try and understand and try and connect again, but she denied that. So
this is the part of the game where they really want to turn things around and make Dimitri the redeemed part of the story for him, because up to this point he's been nothing. You can't even do any support with him with any other characters, no matter how hard you try, because that's locked for after this section here. You'll see a lot of supports go off, then you can just spam to them, and a lot of them are just I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't they usually have at least one or two with the students before them,
so they tried to integrate a little bit of the story into the gameplay aspect of doing support. Dimitri, early on is so slightly well-adjusted individual who wants to connect with his peers and look after them.
Yep.
Right, so he has support. But then after the time skip, he is extremely bitter and has been betrayed and is extremely driven in one single-minded focused thing.
It would make sense he wouldn't want
to make connections with anybody. He's actively pushing everybody away and telling them, no, he doesn't care about them. He just wants his goal. So he has no supports during that time because he's actively avoiding that. After this part, he's trying to go through his redemption phase, and so he tries to make amends and reaches out to everybody, apologizes for how he's been acting.
Yeah, that's pretty much all the supports.
And vows to improve.
Yeah,
for the sake of them and his country and whatnot, because he is going to be the next leader.
Yeah.
Or to sum it up, Dimitri's a piece of shit, and we know it.
Yeah, that's true too.
I mean,
and now he knows that.
Somebody wanted to bring up the whole thing about his redemption, and also asked about the whole thing, brought up his redemption in the first place. So I gave an explanation.
Yeah,
you go.
So every support that happens after the segment is 9 times out of 10. I'm sorry for how stupid I was. Let's connect now. That's really what it comes down to. So
probably has something more interesting with Felix.
Oh yeah,
a little bit.
Felix
it's kind of more of the same. It's more Dimitri admitting that Felix was right, but then tries to make amends and apologize. But yeah.
So the main thing is that whoever hooks up with Dimitri then becomes the queen, and it ends up having some type of whatever their personality or gimmick was. They become a leader of that sorts. So I think if you paired them
basically
up with,
how it is for everybody hooking up with the lords.
Yeah, Like in the case of Mercedes, I know that if you hook her up with Dimitri, she'd be like the queen of like all the like the mages or whatever or something. She'd be like in charge of that division.
Isn't
Yeah.
Bernie one of the options?
Who?
Bernie?
Bernie? You would have to see an S next to her supports if it's possible. I don't remember.
Oh,
Let me check. Let me check right now. Actually, I could do that on the menu here. But we got to go through his other cutscene because Demetrius has more to talk about now that he's had his moment in the rain. And it's always good that things are theatrical like that in real life. You know, when you're sad, things start to happen. Things start raining in the sky.
However, Rodrigue's death has been...
Oh yeah, Rodrigue died, by the way. We kind of just skimmed over that, but we keep on moving.
Everybody knows we've been memeing on it this whole time.
flashback.
Yeah, Rodrigue really didn't. I think I said this before, but he did not really add much besides just dying. That was really it. I like.
Basically, yeah. But as far as what he said, yeah, that's. You understand what I said when you asked?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny too because looking at it from the game, how cheap it's trying to be. I'm honestly surprised they even made a model for Dimitri's dad.
Your Highness, you should be resting.
and did that because you never get to play as him, and I think that's the only part of the game you really get to see him.
May I have a moment to
He was probably originally going to be a playable character.
Before the time skip.
His model or just
I wish
artwork?
to apologize.
Model.
Oh.
You get to talk to him.
I have led you
He's
down
there
this
to
dark
do
path
some sort of
for me.
business.
The cost so
He
much.
doesn't contribute anything aside from, oh hey, he's that guy's dad.
Oh, really?
There is no apology.
I mean, he might have been planned to be playable like Gilbert was, maybe, but
And how do
Uh.
you intend to make up for my father's
Either way,
death?
it's surprising me. The game that's cheaply made like this in terms of like cutting corners and all that, I'm surprised they just bothered to even use him for non-mechanical
I
reasons.
wouldn't say it was cutting corners, but they if anything else was planned for him, they definitely probably decided it wasn't worth it.
Lost. I
But
know that.
as far as development goes, like
Patching up a tear with a different
things get cut. That's just the way
can never be.
things are.
Hmm.
Not all ideas make it into a final product.
Things
Oh, trust me, I know that more than anyone. But yeah, so we got good boy Dimitri now, or at least less edgy the edgy Dimitri, and he can smile.
Looks like I'm wrong. I guess I just saw a DVD and art comic and just misunderstood it.
Yeah, so I was right.
Wait, about what?
About this is the only time you really get to see him.
Your Highness.
I was asking
No,
about
no, I
Explode.
meant the Edelgard and Bernadette stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh.
I'm wrong. Yeah. Anyway, so we got our army here. We're about to. I think this is the final push to like confront. We got our army. We got the supplies. Now we just got to confront Edelgard with our newly reestablished Dimitri. So Dimitri,
Yeah, so you got
internally-
like 5 or 10 chapters left.
yeah, so Dimitri, now that he's changed, now is conflicted. Should I even really do that now? And we're gonna get to a portion soon. I think it might be a mission or two later, but where they probably before we get to the main stronghold, they have that little leaders discussion out in a neutral territory, which really gives him the answers that he needs. But I still stand by what I say in terms of Dimitri. I like Dimitri.
Yeah, he's a good character.
I like him on that one. I think one thing that people thought about when this game first came out, they thought Claude was going to be best boy, but like he ended up being worst boy. I think in terms of
He's mostly just inoffensive and nothing
People
really
like him.
super cool. Like people like him. It's just that he doesn't have any like overtly heavy drama like the other two lords do.
He's still
Oh,
precious. That's why they think he's best boy. They want to protect him from trauma.
Yeah.
At your command, Your
But as far as like character dynamics go, he's mostly just an average dude.
So you would say he's probably the Sakura Haruno of the three.
I guess that's one way of putting it. I'd say he's more
Except he's
like
not useless.
I would say if you want to go with Naruto as the character basis,
Yeah.
he's probably like let's see who's a relatively well-adjusted character in that. I guess maybe Kiba without the inferiority complex.
Kiba. I never liked Kiba.
Kiba had potential to be cool, but then it turned out he was just Yamcha.
Yeah, he was. He was just the Yamcha. All right, let me see with Dimitri.
But
To answer that question.
yeah, no, Kiba's done some cool stuff before the time skip happened.
Oh, by the way,
Mainly,
explodes. Wait, hold
mainly in the Sasuke retrieval arc.
on. By the way, hold on 1 second. To answer your question, explodes. Dimitri does not have any type of interest in talking to Bernadetta.
That's what I just said earlier.
No, I'm confirming it here in terms of like list. Now that I see it. All right, go on, Reg. Go on, Reg. So
I was because like you're. I say Claude is most like Kiba because Kiba doesn't have any like compelling trauma or drama surrounding his background or his character arc as it goes forward. He's just there and he's relatively well adjusted as far as the overall situation is.
Occasionally people want to protect him, but that's about it.
I see. Gilbert.
You get what I mean when I like equate him to like Kiba though, right?
Yeah, I get a good understanding now. But yeah, so we're gonna end this here, hop into Transformers next for our final one for the day, and then yeah, so I'll let's see. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some side quests to do, so we're not even gonna get into plot stuff next time. So yeah, be ready for that, I suppose. But otherwise, thank you guys for joining us. We'll get back into the comic book hijinks most likely during the meat of the next episode. So see you guys then. Bye bye.